All right, you're going to need the Bellringer sheet that you got on Friday, and if you're like me and you haven't cut the edges and glued it into Notebook 3, you need to do that. This is the Bellringer for the week of January 11th through 15th. Today's Monday, so we're going to be working with a root and an affix. Today's affix will be a prefix, so we're actually going to work with a prefix. So we know that comes at the beginning of the word, and the word is going to be miss, or the prefix is miss. And remember, we put that dash after when we're working with a prefix because it lets us know that where this dash is, we would add other like root words and then carry on with maybe some suffixes as well. Okay. The prefix miss means wrong, or it can also mean bad. I want us to really focus on what it does to a word's meaning, so the impact it has on the word's meaning, because a prefix is just a small part of a word that affects the word's meaning. It changes its meaning. So when we have a prefix miss, it really changes a word to feel like it's the opposite of the word it's attached to. When I say opposite, I mean like the word it's attached to might feel more positive, and then when you attach the prefix miss, you know, the opposite of something positive would be like feeling like negative or feeling bad or wrong. So we can go ahead and write that. We'll say to feel negative or like the opposite of the word it's attached to. For example, when we have the word behave, that seems like a good thing, right? If you are behaving, you're following the rules, listening to directions, you're showing good behavior. But then when we attach the prefix miss, all of a sudden it's wrong behavior or bad behavior. So not so great, right? So it's no longer a positive thing. Now it's something bad. So some other words that you might come across that have the prefix miss, if you can think of read or read. Okay, when we read something, we can decode it. We can pronounce all the sounds in that word. Excuse me. But when we attach the prefix miss, means like wrong reading, right? Wrong decoding, wrong understanding of sounds. Okay. If someone was, or if we led someone somewhere, that means we're taking them in the right direction, generally, okay? If we attach the prefix miss for misled, we took someone in the wrong direction. Even take. Okay. And then when we attach the prefix miss, we have this meaning like wrong take. So you took something wrong, or you understood something wrong, or you produced something that was incorrect or wrong. When we have the word spell, this means you are writing the correct letters for all the sounds that we hear, right? You're doing this correctly. When we attach the prefix miss to it, now we have the wrong spelling. Okay? So you might want to add some more there if you have other ideas that come to mind, okay? Now we're going to do a root word And you've actually seen this word come up when we've been talking about science, but the root word is meter. We don't always pronounce it as meter when it's attached to other roots or prefixes or suffixes, but that happens a lot, right? And when we, meter means measure. So how does it, or what does it do to a word's meaning? When you see the word meter, you know that the word has something to do with measuring. You could be measuring time, speed, weight, intensity, music, so the beats of a music. There's lots of different things we can be measuring, but anytime you see the word meter, even if it's not pronounced as meter, it might be pronounced as meter. It has something to do with measuring. So what it does to a word's meaning is it lets us know the word has something to do with measuring. So if we were to make a word web, one that you see very often in math, and a lot of kids get this confused. If we have the root meter, and then we attach another root called peri, this word is actually perimeter, or perimeter. I'm trying to sound it out by the sounds, but drawing a little blank here. Perimeter, but meter meaning measure, and then peri, it actually means around. It's another root word that means around. In 4th grade, we're not really going to use a lot of other words that have this, so this is why I'm not really paying too close attention as far as like making it another word we'd put here. But know that when we see the word perimeter, it's meaning the measurement around something. Okay, so if I were to look at just this rectangle, this part right here, these 4 sides, if I wanted to know the length of those sides together, that would be me measuring the perimeter, the measurement around, the length around. Okay. When we have the word thermometer, so hear how I pronounced that a little bit differently because of all the other sounds and letters that come before it. Now we have meter, and then we have this word therm, or this root therm. You guys know that this means heat, and then this means measure. And then in our morpheme deck, we have those white cards with just like one letter on there, and that's just basically like a filler letter, and it wouldn't make sense for us to say thermometer, so we attach another letter in there for spelling. But this would be us measuring heat, how high or low. And we said that this was around. Okay. Even a word like parking meter. So if you guys go downtown, like in Detroit, there's parking meters on all those public streets. It's measuring the amount of time you're parking, right? And every house has a gas meter, and a company called DTE will come to the house and they will see what, they will check your gas meter, and what they're doing is seeing the measurement of how much gas your house is using. And then even the word speedometer. Isn't it funny how we pronounce that one? Okay. But again, we're taking a look at the parts that we know. We see meter, and we see the word speed. So we know, like, this is meaning how fast or slow, right? We're measuring how fast or slow we're going. And then again, we have like that filler letter. So these are the prefixes and root words for this week.